Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a new top 10 under 10 video. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought it was about time I did one for foundations. I've done like a best and worst drugstore foundations video about 3 years ago, so it's pretty much all changed since then, or mostly changed, so I thought I would do another one and share my top 10 favourites affordable foundations with you all. And I have cheated on a few of them. A couple of them are over £10, but most of them are currently or very frequently on buy one get one half price and things like that. So I have kind of cheated by £1 here and there, but I'm pretty sure you guys won't mind. So I'm going to start off with the first 4, I have to admit, are all from the same brand, which is pretty crazy if you think about it, but they really do drugstore foundations well. It is Bourjois, and the first one I'm going to talk about is my favourite. I've actually wanted to talk about this in a monthly favourites video for like 3 months now, and I just keep forgetting to put it in, but I have been using this a lot. It's the 123 Perfect CC cream. Now, I'm not usually a fan of alphabet creams, BB creams, CC creams, now DD creams. I just think it is a total gimmick and everybody is jumping on the bandwagon, but I really like this. Don't let the fact that it is a CC cream fool you. This has really good coverage. It's really light and it's easy to blend in, but at the same time it gives you really good coverage. The one thing I don't really buy with this is the 3 colour pigment colour correcting thing, because I think with colour correction it needs to be kind of targeted. It's all very well having like apricot green and white pigments to correct anti-fatigue, anti-redness and anti-dark spots, but they're all being applied to the same area, so for me that doesn't really make sense. However, the product is really good. It's nice and hydrating. It says 24-hour hydration. I really like this for my skin. It just seems to work really nicely. I have very normal kind of standard middle of the road skin that does get a bit dry in the winter, but I have really been loving this. At $9.99, absolute bargain. I would definitely recommend it. Has SPF 15 as well. Moving on to some other Bourjois foundations, the other one that I've been using a lot recently is the Happy Light. Now, the fact that this is a foundation is kind of weird because I feel like it has less coverage than the CC cream, but it is really good. This is an amazing foundation if you want something day to day. Really light, feels kind of lovely, moisturising on the skin, leaves you with a nice kind of satin, dewy, slightly dewy finish. And yes, I do really like this. This is a great kind of middle of the road, day to day, gets the job done. You don't look like you're caked in makeup foundation. This is probably one of the most expensive ones. I think this is $11.99, but it is currently buy one get one half price, so I didn't pay $11.99 for it. The next one is the original Healthy Mix foundation, which is $10.99. So again, still cheating with the Bourjois, but they are so good, it's definitely worth mentioning. This has had a lot of rave reviews online. Personally, I think this is a bit more of a classic kind of foundation texture. It is really good. It has a very good kind of medium coverage. It's a little bit buildable. It says 16-hour lasting, but I don't really know in terms of the staying power for this. I don't think it's, I would say it's average. I wouldn't say 16 hours at all, to be honest, but it is very nice. It leaves you again with a little bit of a glow. However, I have to say I prefer the Healthy Mix serum. I know there's a bit of a division between these because they are very similar in terms, I find, in terms of their kind of finish. They're very kind of healthy looking, as the name would suggest, but the serum is like a gel kind of formula. The only thing that I can think to compare this to off the top of my head is the Marc Jacobs foundation, which is slightly different in finish. I'd say that's a little bit more matte in finish, but it has that same kind of really thick gel texture. This is a lot more liquid. This is a lot kind of more like a gel, and it feels kind of more plumping to the skin, if that makes sense. It definitely feels more kind of nourishing and slightly less like a foundation, if that makes sense. This one's a little bit more expensive. I think this is $11.99, this is $10.99. Both of them are really good though. Okay, so that's it for the Bourjois chunk. I now have a couple from Rimmel, which I believe these were probably in my last video. I can't even remember, but I've liked these for a long time. And I think they're both brilliant. They are the cheapest out of all of them. The first one is Match Perfection. Again, this is a really nice day-to-day foundation. It's not super high coverage. It just leaves a really kind of flawless yet natural finish. It's quite buildable. The colour I wear is True Ivory, which is 103. I'm going to put all of the colours for all the respective foundations in the info bar below so you guys know what colour I am for reference. Some of them are a little bit dark because they're my summer colours, but I'll explain everything in the info bar below without waffling on about it. But yeah, I really love True Match. I think it's $6.99, so it's one of the most affordable foundations on the high street, and it is one of the best in my opinion. The other one from Rimmel is the Wake Me Up foundation, which had a lot of kind of hype around it when it was released a couple of years ago. I do really like this. It has a bit more shimmer to it than the others, so if you like that kind of glowy, dewy look, then this one might be for you as opposed to the Match Perfection, because that's more of a kind of classic no shimmer foundation. But this is just really kind of a radiant finish. I really like it. Does need powdering, I think, because yeah, it is quite kind of glowy, but I really like that one. Moving on to L'Oreal, there are actually 3 L'Oreal foundations I really like. The first one is not one that I wear all the time, but I've included it because I think it's really good value for money in comparison to what else is out there. This is the Nude Magique Eau de Teint, Eau de Teint if you're speaking French, Fresh Feel foundation with SPF 18. I really like this because it is basically a dupe for the Giorgio Armani Maestro, which is around like £38 or something. This is $9.99. You shake it up before you use it. What I don't like is that it doesn't have a dropper or a pump. You have to like either pour it, which you don't want to do because it's very thin, or put your finger on the top and get some out like that. So it's not incredibly hygienic, but it is really nice if you want something super light that gives you a decent amount of coverage but feels very kind of powdery on the skin. To me, this is a kind of semi-matte finish. It's really similar as well to the new YSL Fusion Ink foundation that's just come out and is getting loads of hype. If you want to try a foundation like that but you don't want to spend a lot of money, I would definitely recommend this one. It's really good. The next thing is not technically a foundation, it's a primer. Oh, it's technically an instant flawless perfector. But it is the L'Oreal Nude Magique Blur Cream. This I've included because I'm not going to do a top 10 under £10 primer video because I feel like I don't have 10 favourite drugstore primers, I only have a couple, but this is one of them and I wanted to include it because it's very similar to the Benefit Professional, which I know is super popular, but it's also really expensive. This is $9.99, but you get 25ml, and it is just a very similar product. It's not clear like a lot of these kind of silicone-y primers are. It comes in, I think this colour is medium to dark skin, but as you can see on my hand, it doesn't make too much difference in terms of the tint. This one actually works perfectly for me, but it has that real smoothing kind of silicone-y feel to it, and it leaves you with a really pretty kind of slightly matte finish, and it helps to blur out any kind of pores that you may have, things like that. So you can actually wear this on its own if you're the kind of girl that doesn't like to wear foundation in a day and you just want something to kind of smooth out your skin, maybe put a little bit of concealer over the top where you need it. This is really good. Or you can use it as a primer underneath your foundation. It will make your foundation last for longer as well. I really like this. I think it's one of the best products like this on the market. There are quite a lot of them. I think this one's really good. The last L'Oreal foundation is the L'Oreal Lumi Magique. I actually only managed to use this for a couple of weeks when I was tanned this summer because I bought a colour that is too dark for my skin. This is, what colour is this? I don't know. Oh, N4, so pure beige. I need like 1 or 2 shades, probably 2 shades lighter than this for my winter colour, but I really loved it whilst I was using it. As the name would suggest, it is kind of a luminous, glowy finish. I really like a more natural finish to my foundation as opposed to matte. So this is really nice. It says flawless skin as if lit from within with liquid light technology. So it's very glowing. It's very much a more like traditional foundation, if that makes sense. Liquid, quite a heavy liquid foundation, but it looks beautiful on the skin. I really like this one. Last but not least is a new one actually, and I really like this. Again, it is a classic foundation, but it has a little bit of added kind of shimmer to it, or kind of light to it. It's the Max Factor Skin Luminizer foundation, which has, as you can see, it has like the highlighting kind of luminizer stuff zigzag throughout, and then when you pump it, it mixes together, which is kind of gimmicky, but I do quite like it. Again, this is a medium buildable coverage. It's quite a glowy foundation, again with the luminizing side of things, and if you want, I'd say again, this is quite a classic foundation. So if you want that kind of daytime or evening foundation, you don't want to have one or the other, this is a good choice. If you want to try something new, it is I think it came out a few weeks ago. But yeah, this is in number 80, which is bronze, which sounds like it would be really, really dark being called bronze, but it's not, which is quite weird. Weird name. Anyway, that is it for my top 10 under 10 foundations. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any suggestions of what foundations you think I should try. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more, and also let me know in the comments if you have any other top 10 under 10 categories that you would like me to record, because I really like doing these videos. They're some of my favourite ones. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!